a therapist. And so she finally went in, and she had one session, and I was really glad that she was finally doing that, because this was towards the end of the semester, and she had just been kind of like sinking into really unhealthy patterns of self-destruction, and really self-medicating a lot with marijuana, because that was, you know, something that she could do. The college students, you know, will smoke pot, and when you start realizing that there's something that can kind of, you know, make the, I guess, pain that you're feeling and the hardness that you're going through a little bit less difficult, a little bit easier to handle, or seemingly so, then you can start to do that a lot. And that had been detrimental to her schoolwork. It had made it more difficult for her to focus, which was a big source of all of the anxiety that she was feeling in the first place, because she was a pre-med, and she was taking very hard classes with very competitive students in a very competitive field. And so when she did finally go, she had one session, and I was really interested to see how it went and if it was helpful to her, if she felt like she did some processing and things like that. And, you know, with my father, I'm a pretty conscious person in terms of psychiatry and psychology and how they're interlapping, and what kind of counselor is really being supportive and what kind is just going to, you know, prescribe drugs and try and gloss over the actual issues that are going on. And she said that her therapist had begun to talk about her possibly having an anxiety disorder, possibly some sort of attention deficit disorder. You know, I asked her after that, because just in terms of focusing on her work, I asked her if she had been open with her therapist about, you know, how much marijuana she was smoking, and she said, you know, she hadn't, because she didn't feel comfortable in the first session, which makes a lot of sense. And the therapist had said that she wanted to talk about prescribing drugs to her in the next session. And I was just pissed when my friend told me that, because it was like, there's so many things going on with her. She's been struggling with issues of depression and body image and anxiety her whole life, and without even, like, that the therapist could be so presuming as to think that they had a full understanding, or even a small understanding of what was going on with her, enough to prescribe her drugs or tell her that there's something wrong with her, a disorder, really was messed up. And
yeah, so there you are, trying to help your friend, trying to support her, encouraging her to go to counseling and be able to talk about what's going on, to try to sort out what's going on. And she comes back and says, well, they want me to go see the psychiatrist next session and see about getting drugs because I might have an anxiety disorder or attention deficit disorder. And you were pissed.
I was pissed, yeah. And I just kind of, at that point, I was frustrated, because I had thought I was doing the right thing by encouraging her to go and get help, because I didn't feel as though myself or any of our other friends could really, because, you know, we all have our own lives. We're all trying to lead our own lives, and I guess that's what's beautiful about, what should be beautiful about therapists and psychology, is that that's kind of a profession that is people taking some time out of their lives to help people think about their own lives, other people's lives, you know? And So I wanted her to have that, and then I didn't know if that was just the wrong thing. Like, what are you supposed to do in that kind of thing? There's no support system in place.
Yeah,
because, you know, you are in a unique situation of being alone at school. You've left home, and you're trying to figure out what you want for yourself, and it would be nice if you could go somewhere and get some help and support without people trying to tell you that there's something wrong with you. Because that was the other part of me supporting my friend, was that I was just trying to convince her that she had the power and the qualities that all human beings have to make themselves happy and to choose what's right for themselves, you know? And